Head, neck, backbone straight. This is a position where the energy flows maximum. Let us keep the body still, mind silent, intellect clear. Let us let go all the past regrets, future anxieties, present tensions. Doing one task at a time. And let us chant loudly so that unnecessary thoughts do not come in our mind.
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं पवित्रजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं।
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं
वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्
वसुदेवसुतं
वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.
Hari Om to all. Thank you, Latara Shekarji. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter-wise summary. And third chapter, Lord has explained what is karma, what is not karma yoga, and what is karma yoga. What is the equation of karma also. And after that, Arjun has asked one question, even though Lord has indicated that what can come in between following this knowledge. So in the second chapter, Lord has given self-knowledge. Third chapter, Lord has given karma yoga. And then the topic here is that what can come in between implementing this karma yoga and abiding in this knowledge. So Lord had indicated already that there will be two obstacles. Prakrutim yanti bhutani nigraham kim karishyati. Like, dislike, our prakriti will come in between. Our rajas, tamas, sattva. Gunas will come which are expressed through like, dislikes. And last time we saw those people who have very strong like, dislikes, then they will have insistence, resistance towards whatever is happening in life. And where there is resistance, insistence most of the time about situation, people, objects, then the person's mind will be agitated, and this agitated mind, even though may understand the self-knowledge, may not be able to focus on it, may not able to think about it more time. So when the like dislikes are less, insistence, resistance is less, then only I can contemplate about this knowledge. And that's the reason Karma Yoga is extremely important, where Lord is telling Arjun, and through Arjun, all of us, that you, wherever you are in family, job, business, do the duty, do your karma properly, as Lord has given 14 indicators. And after entire discourse is over, Arjun has asked this question, that exactly tell me what actually stops me from following this particular karma yoga or abiding in this knowledge. So now we are going to see the implication of prakriti. Lord has given earlier like, dislikes, prakriti as the obstacles, and now clearly indicated in Arjun's language. Because we also like that language of fighting, gossip, because Sushant Singh, still now we do not know whether it is murder or suicide. Suppose somebody says, one news come tomorrow, Aishwarya Rai and Abhishek Bachchan fought. We will see immediately, why they fought. Because fighting we like. His husband ka wife ke saath jhagda ho gaya. Immediately, what happened, in that house yesterday, I saw mother-in-law, father-in-law, and then lot of fight. Fight means we enjoy. And suppose we say to somebody, we saw this entire family together going for some, lunch or dinner, that is okay. But what happened? What happened in that fight? Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, lot of fight. So, immediately, anyhow, whatever we may think, we immediately even though after learning spiritual knowledge, we may not ask, but our heart pumps to know, kya ho gaya? Like, what happened? Acha, I thought, they are very well. They are family, happy family. Acha, udhar bhi jhagda hota hai. Immediately a fight somewhere means, what happened? So now Arjun is telling, Lord Krishna is telling Arjun in his own language of war, fight, that an entire war tactics is given now in the last portion of third chapter. What is the war tactics? First of all, I must know who is the enemy. Secondly, I must know where the enemy is located. Thirdly, I must know how to fight the enemy. And then what is to be done with the enemy? All these things are war tactics. In that language, Lord is going to tell Arjun. So very, very interesting. And this verse we must by heart. Anytime we feel that, I'm not able to follow spiritual principles, We must not blame family, no, actually, because of my family constraints, family duties, I'm not able to follow spirituality. No, Lord is not saying that. This is one myth what people have, suppose I would have taken sannyas or I would have been alone, I would have reached enlightenment. No. Lord has given two clear enemies because of which we are not able to do. Kama esha, krodha esha. So that is a verse we must always remember and by heart. Anytime we are disturbed, it is because of kama and krodha. So with this, we will start and mostly complete the third chapter summary today. Hope so. So who is the enemy? What is the quality, power of enemy? Where are the location hideouts? What is the battalion structure? How the enemy attacks? And how to kill. These are the pointers given in the verses. But very clear answer to Arjun's question is here, that what kind of force actually is there in us. Lord has given clear answer in 2 words. So we must remember who are our real enemies, not our neighbors, not our family members, not our boss, not subordinates. Who disturbs our peace of mind are two. Kama esha, krodha esha. And not only on that, Lord is stopping. He is saying Mahashano, Mahapapma, and Vairinam. This is the enemy of Vairinam, of whom Jnana. So many times we wonder, this person is so knowledgeable, so wise, and gives so many lectures, but how come he behaves this way? How come this person actually, in certain situations acts like this? Because of Kama and Krodha. And not only this, Lord is telling Mahashano, Mahapapma. These are very, very difficult enemies to conquer. And that is what, for a warrior, when he says that, okay, enemy is powerful, I get motivated. So it is kama, it is desire, because likes, what we saw earlier, it is Mahashanu. And these are insatiable. My desire gets fulfilled, but desiring doesn't get fulfilled. My want gets fulfilled, but wanting remains. And that's the reason when we say I like something, I have to be careful from today. Because when I say I like this, I like this, I like this, it might create more and more liking, more and more desire. And Guruji says that when this desire comes, I have no fear, no shame in this state. Because desire, those people who are having lot of very intense desire, these people are shameless. I know that I'm doing wrong, but I have no shame that I'm doing wrong, and I can go to any extent to fulfill that desire. So, because of likes, which is created by the Prakriti, the desires are created, and Lord is calling that as Mahasha. It is the most difficult enemy. And then Mahapapa. What is a Mahapapa? Dislike. Because dislike creates anger, likes create desire. So those people who are having lot of anger inside, Lord is going to say this anger and this desire located inside, not outside. So, but we say, I'm getting angry on you. I'm getting angry on this situation. I'm getting angry because of your this behavior. No. Basically, I'm having a lot of anger inside. Now, outside, there are situations I find out to express that anger. And the easiest are family members. Easiest are some situations. So people who get angry in office, where they can't express, they will come and express in the house. Where some people are not able to express in house because somebody else is the boss, they will go in office and express. If both possible, another way they will express on neighbors. If that is not possible, the easiest target is politicians in Indian country. Constantly blaming about traffic, constantly blaming about pollution, constantly blaming about roads, because this is very easy target. So it is anger because of dislike. So wherever there is a dislike about something, there is anger. Wherever there is like, there is a desire. So this equation must be very clear. And all these two, Bhagavan is going to say later, they are located inside me. I must know where is the location of the enemy. And when a person gets angry in that, we have no control. A person loses self-control, mind control, sense control. I can shout, I can throw things outside the window, I can do anything, and then I can tell anything to any person, and then I regret I shouldn't have told this. And these are our day-to-day examples that how easily we lose control of our mind. Because when the mind gets angry, it goes away from God, it goes away from this knowledge, it goes away from my own self. And when this is known, only I can control anger. Not that's, but in this anger, I want other person to change, other situation to change, and that way it cannot work. Because anger and desire are located inside me. If a person doesn't have any anger and desire, the person will just walk like Buddha walking. So many irritating elements come in front of us, but we have seen Guruji, Gurudev not getting angry, irritated at all. Maybe they might be showing anger, but they are not angry. All devouring takes us away from our peace. So why these are important to manage? Because they actually destroy our peace of mind. And because my peace of mind goes, then I cannot focus on this knowledge. This knowledge, the essence of this knowledge, I cannot understand. The essence of this knowledge, I cannot implement. All sinful, Lord is calling this as Mahapapa. Takes us away from God, goal of life. And that's the reason it is Mahapapa. So whenever I'm getting too angry, whenever I'm getting restless, whenever I'm getting hyper, whenever I'm getting worried, whenever I'm getting passionate, whenever I'm getting tense, this is basically because of desire. Stress, tension, worry. We just justify our worry because we have not read Bhagavad Gita. If you come to Bhagavad Gita, everything will be clear. No. If I don't worry, life will fall. Earth will stop rotating. How my family members will live. So whenever I'm expressing too much of worry, too much of tension, too much of stress, too much of anger, too much of restlessness, too much of anxiety, then it is because of Kama Esha Krodha Esha. And Kama will lead to Krodha. Where there is Kama, there is Krodha. Because these two go together, Lord is going to say later on. There is a battalion in which they operate. They don't operate alone, because alone it will not have any power, but they operate as a battalion. That's the reason they are powerful. Born of the passion, Rajoguna Samudbhava. Because Rajoguna actually constantly pushes us in doing something, experiencing something, which is not going to give us long-lasting happiness. I want to do something, I want to see something, I want to hear something, I want to taste something. Not that it is not required, but so much of it is not required. It is only required to fulfill and keep my body healthy. But we are more interested in the scenery than the seer. So that Rajoguna will pushes us constantly outside. Born out of passion. So Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, where are they born from? Who is the boss? Rajoguna. And they lead us to Mahapshano, Mahapapma and Mahavairinam. They are the greatest enemies of us. So from today, we must stop blaming, criticizing, cribbing about people, situation, objects. We must actually think about who is my real enemy, how many desires I have, on what all things I get angry. Anger comes from within or outside. Till I come to Bhagavad Gita, I say, you made me angry. You change your behavior. Because of this situation, I am getting angry. Because of this situation, this object, I am getting irritated. Lord is saying, no. They are all operating from within. Know this as the inner enemy here in this world. Both go together as a team. And that's the reason they are extremely powerful. If we break up this team, then they become weak. Attachment and aversion to sense object are our enemies. So we must give up addiction. We must ask ourselves that what am I addicted to? There are some people who do not have much addiction for food, but they have addiction for mobile phone. Some people have no addiction for mobile phone and food, but they have addiction for talking, continuous talking. Then some people have addiction for continuously gossiping or going outside and doing a lot of things which have no meaningless actions. Thoughtless actions and actionless thoughts, both are useless. So I must figure out what are my addictions, which are compulsive acts I am doing that without which I get withdrawal symptoms. And sometimes I must challenge that, okay, let me see what happens if I don't get coffee. Let me see what happens if I don't get tea in the morning. Let me see what happens if I don't touch mobile phone. Let me see if I don't eat whatever I like for one day and try. That is the way I can come out of these addictions. That is the way we have to fight the enemies. Otherwise, the enemy is going to become strong because we are feeding the enemy. Not that all these things are bad, but the enemy should not become strong. So Lord has clearly pointed out, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. That doesn't mean that we should not have any desires, but desires must be in our control. And sometimes we must try to do opposite so that desires become weak, and then I must kill it, because Lord is going to complete the chapter not giving any room to us and very clear indication to Arjun, kill them. Don't injure Duryodhan, Karna, kill them. No sympathy, empathy here. And they all are hidden. They all work as a team, so we have to be careful. So what are the desire and anger types? Lord has given 3 types of desires and angers. Example is given by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita in 3rd chapter. Yes, that the first type are like fire is enveloped by smoke. So this go without effort. So I must check and I must make a list of my desire, that these are desires, but this doesn't bother me much. Yeah, suppose given a chance, I would like to, wear blue color. Given a chance, I would like to have this kind of food. Given a chance, I would like to go there. Given a chance, given an opportunity, I would like to do this. But even if I don't get tomorrow, if I get to wear pink or red or this kind of food, it is not bothering me. Next moment, I can pick up Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, read and understand. Next minute, I can go to meditation room and meditate. These are the desires which require no effort. This just come and go, but they are there. Then the second type are mirror. There is a mirror and there is a dust on it. So it will take one kind of mirror cleaner is there, some soft cloth, and there is a spray also. It will require some effort. And some people have lots of mirrors, and in that mirrors, there are a lot of small things kept from various countries. And it takes lot of time to clean it. But not the cupboard, but it requires some effort. So what are the second types of desires which I have, which will take some efforts? Like many people are able to give up certain things for some time. But again, this will reappear and they will become stronger if I do not work on them. And the third type, and that's the reason this is very, very important to understand, that some desires are like embryo. In the womb, it will take 9 months to come out. And this actually, when we understand, we become empathetic towards ourselves and others also. Because for other people also, there are certain strong desires which I will not be able to overcome so easily. So from tomorrow, we must not blame other person that you are talking such high knowledge. You're talking of Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, and then next moment you are into doing this, because some desires may be very strong. So Gurudev always says that understand, but hasten slowly. Slowly, I must work out on. But I have to work out, because if I do not work out, these enemies will become stronger. So where are they located? What are their hideouts of these enemies? 3 places Lord has mentioned. Not outside, but inside. All these 3 places are not in the neighbor's house, not in some mountain, not in some cave, not in some Himalayas. Where to go to search these enemies? 3 places inside Lord has mentioned. Senses, they are located in the senses. Desire is located in the senses. Many times, out of mind, out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. The moment I go into the mall, I remember I need to buy it. Otherwise, I'm okay with it. So what are the areas: perception, contact, sensations. The moment I see something, I want it. So that is located in the senses. Till that time, the desire is not very strong. So I must not try to control myself. Suppose I have a desire of eating ice cream, and after I read this Bhagavad Gita and I want to control and kill the enemy, I must not go to ice cream shop and sit there and watch other people eating ice cream and then try to control that. Because some people do that, they go to some places where they are having these desires and then try to control. So we must avoid these places. And that's the reason Lord is going to say again and remind us that start with senses. Sense control is the key. And that's the reason I must not allow the eyes to see mobile for a long time. I must not allow the ears to hear certain things. I must not allow the mouth to taste lot of things. Tapan Maharaj that's the reason he used to take the food, put in Ganga, remove all the salt and spices and eat. One of his Shishya went, Maharaj, what? I want charana. Why do you want charana? Because I want to buy salt, because I am making some sabji. He told, all the way you have come to Himalayas to put salt in the sabji. He didn't give him charana, not that he was not having, but see the kind of purity, see the kind of innocence, where a student goes to the teacher and says, I want charana to buy salt. This example we have heard many times. It is actually wonderful to hear this example, that what kind of innocence, what kind of faith, what kind of trust in the Guru, and then I want only charana for. And the Guru rejects that desire also. So many times, we want the Guru and the teacher to be nice and very loving and very empathetic and very wow. Actually, the real Guru is the Guru who will kill the desire of the other person, ignorance of the other person. And sometimes the Guru has to take hard measures. The second place where these desires are located is mind, emotional satisfaction. We must not all the time express my emotions under the name of that I want to express. Because whatever we express, they are going to grow. No, I want to feel good. Why should I want to feel good all the time? Sometimes it's okay to feel bad. Sometimes it is okay to feel miserable. I must say, okay, I want to observe all these emotions. Emotions, actually, when we start observing, the emotions' power goes away. How to control the senses? We have seen simple thing, shut the senses for some time. So every day I must actually sit in the room, shut all the senses and not allow any contact from outside to come on the five senses, because that is a window. For some time I must say, okay, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel good. It's okay to feel miserable. It's okay to feel hot at the body level. It's okay to feel unhappy. Let me observe unhappiness. Let me observe irritation. Let me observe frustration. Okay, let me observe sadness. Okay, no, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling miserable. Okay, for some time I must sit, okay, where is that misery? Where is the sadness? Let me observe. So why it is important to observe when the enemy knows that its hideout is known, the enemy becomes restless, weak. Enemy is strong when the enemy's hideouts are not known. That's the reason Ramana Maharshi gives very interesting formula. Just sit and observe the thoughts, observe the emotions. Buddha also gave the same formula. Just observe the breath, observe the sensations in the body. We are not addicted to objects. We are addicted to the sensations the objects create in the body. So sensations in the body and emotions in the mind. These are the things we are attached to. And then the third hideout is intellect. How the intellect is related to memory. Memory is the most dangerous thing. Memory is the most dangerous thing here. Because there are two types of happiness. One is perception driven and another is memory driven. Memory driven happiness is there because all the time I come out something from the memory and say this happened. That's the reason they talk about Chitta Shuddhi. Because our memory brings imaginations, our memory is the main cause of sorrow, suffering, and constantly going in the past and picking up those things which I have not liked, where I felt miserable, where anger came, when something bad happened. And some people have gotten this habit of constantly, coming out and digging out the memory and bringing out something in my expression which is bad, which is wrong, which was something happened. So memory is one of the greatest cause of sorrow and misery. If I am not memorizing, bringing something from the memory, then I am going in the future and imagining that, something bad is going to happen, this will happen, that will happen, something is going to happen, what will happen, something will happen, kai hoil, kasa hoil. Constantly I am worrying, and this kai hoil, kasa hoil, what will happen in the future is about something bad is going to happen. Something which I will not be able to manage. So, what will happen? Maximum death can happen. Maximum this earth will collapse. Solar system will go. Maximum this universe will become one universe and there will be Laya. That we know, we have read in Bhagavad also that there is Laya, there is Mahalaya. What will happen? Maximum what can happen? Maximum sorrow can happen. Maximum anger can happen. Maximum fear will come. So imagination, memory, this desire for fame, this the intellect always wants, appreciation. I want to be known by the people who are illusory, not by God. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, "Me maze mohita rahile nivanga." I must be impressed by myself or by God, and then my mind settles on. But if I want to impress somebody else, it is not going to possible. It is not possible at all. Because all other people who are there in this world, they will talk about me for some time and then they can talk bad about in the next second also if something happens. It is very flickery. In one moment, the perception can change. This is all intellect. Intellect is one of the greatest enemy which we have to tackle, because intellect can be tackled by knowledge, self-knowledge, satsanga. Being in company of spiritual people, my intellect can change, because memory is the major cause. I am again going to repeat, one of the major cause of suffering, sorrow, anger is memory, long-term memory, and then we are carrying memory of aneka janma samprapta karma bandha vidahine. Aneka janma memory which goes from one body to another body. And that's the reason chitta shuddhi, it has been mentioned. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Chitta is memory. Lord has not said mana shuddhi, buddhi shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi is important, because chitta drives the interpretation of the intellect. So something happens outside, but how I interpret, that gives us joy or sorrow. There are some people I know, whatever happens outside, the interpretation is not very pleasant. And there are some people I know, very few people, whatever happens outside, whatever bad, the interpretation is always pleasant. If I say, so much time this metro is, people are taking, when this metro will come and when we will go one generation. No, see, this bridge is happening, this is going to happen next month. Something pleasant the person will say, because the interpretation is important. Kamini, Kanchan, Kirti, Putreshna, Vitteshna, Lokeshna. This is there in our Vedanta. These are the areas where the senses, mind and intellect will go out, and these are our enemies. Kamini is pleasure, Kanchan is money, power, Kirti is fame. Either of the three things pulls us down. First, kill the main hideout post. Now, how to go about? Lord is giving Arjun war tactics. That is that control the senses before controlling the mind and intellect. That means it is easy to shut eyes. It is easy to, put some kind of cotton in the ear. It is easy to sit at one place and not go to places where I may get tempted. My desire will increase. I will become restless. Initially, if I'm not able to control my mind or control the intellect, I must start with senses. So Lord is giving us a very clear guideline how to tackle this enemy. I must be in the company of good books. Every day I must do japa. Every day I must read Bhagavad Gita. Every day I must talk about this knowledge to somebody else. not discuss about what is going wrong in my life, what is going wrong in this. And Kali Yuga is there, and that is a very famous thing. Once people read Bhagavad, they only talk about Kali Yuga. As if I was not there in earlier yugas. I was there in earlier yugas also. It is a continuation process. After Kali Yuga is or another Satya Yuga will start. So why to talk about something what is bad happening to me, what is bad happening in the society, what is bad happening in the country, what is bad happening in the religion. So that is where I control the senses, control the mouth, control the ears. Tongue is one of the main enemy to control, because talking and tasting food both actually take lots of energy from us. How the desire and anger operate, Lord has given the next step. Avruttam jnana metena. This is a very important pointer that it actually covers our knowledge. Many people, if you ask them what is Atma, okay, what is happiness, what do you want, what is the ultimate goal of life, what is God, everything they know. But when day-to-day life happens, day-to-day relationship happens, day-to-day, job happens, family life, I do not remember my duty. We don't find that I'm not so devoted to whatever I'm doing. The discrimination is locked, Vivek, Vairagya. Vivek leads to Vairagya. That I'm not able to display. But Popat Panchi means I can talk and I can write about all these Vedantic concepts very easily. So that is what this particular enemy does. It actually makes us weak. It destroys our discrimination. In spite of having so much spiritual knowledge, why should I get confused about what should be done in this situation? Discrimination. Because the desire is very high. Anger is very high. Where the desire and anger is there in my intellect, mind, I will always be confused about what is to be done. What is my duty? What is my duty as a mother? What is my duty as father? What is my duty as wife? What is my duty as son? What is my duty as husband? What is my duty as boss? What is my duty as subordinate? What is my duty as Indian citizen? And that devotion will be down. And Lord is saying that, Lord is again telling Arjun that please do not take this enemy lighter, because Nitya Vairina, and this is a very strong enemy. You may kill tomorrow Duryodhan, Dushasan, and all these Kauravas, but this enemy is stronger than that enemy what is outside. Not only that it is dangerous, it is very intelligent. Guruji says that how this desire slowly creeps in, like that elephant in a tent. There is that camel in a tent, that story is there. It was raining outside, and then there is a camel, and there's, okay, I will put only my head, then slowly the body, slowly legs, and finally the camel is inside, the man is outside. That's the reason this desires can come from our relationships. This desire can come from our job. This desire can come from our business. This can come anywhere, and initially we don't think that it is enemy, but slowly it will creep in, and then it will occupy big small space in our mind, intellect. Then that space will become bigger and bigger, and a stage will come where I think that no, I cannot live without it. Just imagine, when before getting married, we were not attached to all these people whom we created in our life. Now entire family, I am so attached, not that I must give up, but I realized that, oh, I was not knowing these people few years back, and now so much of dependency. So Guruji gives various examples that how this particular desires comes in various forms, various colors, various ways, and it has various intelligent ways to come in our life, through family, through jobs, through relationship, through this, that. And then slowly, no, I will be able to manage in the first smoke, in the first drink, in the first relationship. And then a stage comes where I feel I cannot live without it. Whether it's an object, situation, or a person. The moment this thought comes that I cannot live without an object, person, and situation, the desire is very happy. Okay, now this is the best place for me to stay for years, for aneka janma. And that's the reason we say that Vairagya was searching a person, that place to stay and it was not able to find out. Then it found out Tapan Maharaj. This is the best place to stay. And then Vairagya came and stayed with Tapan Maharaj. Similarly, desires are going around and going around, hovering around, and they are finding which mind is weak, which intellect is, shuffling all the time, where I can go and enter and slowly make space. So Lord is saying that it is extremely dangerous. We will not be able to figure out in what form, in what color this desire will come and stay and then occupy our mind space. Not very easy to win over. So I must give time, I must put efforts, I must have a teacher, I must have a scriptural base, and slowly, I must give time to myself and others. And this actually makes us very, very empathetic, sympathetic, because people only say that I must be having sympathy, empathy, but how? Towards whom? Towards myself. But finally, Lord is also saying that don't be too sympathetic, empathetic, kill them. This entire battalion in the order of superiority formation is like this, because they operate like a battalion. What is a battalion? First, the senses. The senses will bring all the information about the world in the body. Then the body will bring all the information in the mind. And the mind will bring all the information in the intellect. And then it will go in the memory. And then we are ready to renounce the lower for the higher. No. This life, I will do. Next life, I will be more spiritual. No, let me just, experience all these things, and then I can, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And our bucket list is very huge. And by the time the bucket list is over, even few bucket list, life is over. And suddenly I realize 60, 70, 80 over. So all the time I'm compromising higher self-knowledge, which is the prerogative of a human being, which is the goal of life. And all the time I compromise this over that. So he is finally giving his final verdict in the 3rd chapter that, O mighty armed Arjun, by strengthening the intellect with this self-knowledge. So why to read Bhagavad Gita? It is very clear that strengthen your intellect with this knowledge and kill the enemy. That enemy's name is desire. Jnanino nitya vairana. Drop the desire and then drop the desirer. Some people say, I want to be enlightened, I want to kill the ego, this person is very egoistic, this person is not very egoistic. This all conversation, we must stop. The process is, unless and until I overcome the desire, I will not be able to overcome the desirer. Because to focus on the desirer, to focus on the observer, to focus on the witnesser, my mind must be quieter, and my mind can only be quieter when the desire pressure is less, when the vasana pressure is less. So in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, Lord has given a final verdict that kill it. And how to kill it? The method also is given by strengthening the intellect, because from there the intellect should actually control the mind should control the body should control the senses, not vice versa. When the senses are strong, body is strong, the mind is strong, the intellect becomes weak. How? Simple example, Swami Vimlananji gives these 3-finger example, which we remember. This is mind, this is body, this is intellect. No, this is mind, this is body, this is intellect. So body is in between. So I will tomorrow get up at 5 o'clock and meditate. I will get up at 5 o'clock and do exercise. This thought comes in the intellect. It informs the mind, it informs the body. Body is in the center. Now at 5 o'clock, the alarm goes. The intellect tells to the mind, okay, get up. The mind tells to the body, okay, get up. The body says, not today, tomorrow. Then mind agrees, emotion, yeah, tomorrow. So this mind and body go together. Intellect, bichara, is divorced, and intellect says, you fool, get up, do some exercise, have from proper food. When the body and intellect goes to body and mind goes together, intellectual knowledge doesn't work. And that's the reason Lord is saying is that make the intellect stronger. That is the way to kill the desire. So without self-knowledge, without this goal of highest goal, it is very difficult to overcome these desires. And those people who try to just control the desires. Just because somebody says, don't eat this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, without this self-knowledge, without the highest goal, it remains for shorter time. So with that, we will just summarize the chapter. Verse number 3.1 and 3.2, Arjun had asked two questions to begin this chapter. That is, whether knowledge path is, shall I take, or action path? Because he wanted to take the knowledge path and go and meditate. And Lord said that both paths are not different. Both paths are actually going together. The action path is a means to knowledge path. So you follow action path. Wherever you are, don't creep, complain, accept the situation, accept the family members, accept the objects, and then do whatever you want to do as per the Karma Yoga principles. Action is the means to knowledge. Then in 3.4 to 3.9, important signification of action is given. What is action? Inevitability of action. Do not become a hypocrite and only talk big things, but my desires are there inside me. This is one thing a spiritual as student must avoid. We must not talk lot of Vedanta and lot of Gyan and lot of things to others when we have not overcome even one small habit of ours in the last 30, 40 years. If somebody asks us, okay, what kind of habit have I overcome? Have you overcome anger a little bit? Is anger in your control? Have you done this? What kind of food have you given up which you like the most? What have you done? Have you done any sadhana which you can quote for years together? Then I should not talk lot of big things, because this person is called as hypocrite. I must accept that I am a weak person. I have some desires to overcome. I'm taking support of my guru, my scriptures, and working on it. And this will create less anger in us, because I will be more understanding towards others, that others also will take lot of time to overcome their very strong vasanas. Then do your duty without attachment, insistence, resistance. And then we took 14 principles of Karma Yoga, 14 types of actions. We saw uniting actions, dedicated actions, inner immediate goal-oriented action, that is peace of mind, ultimate goal-oriented action, that is peace of self, obligatory action, that is duty, niyata karma, liberating action, those actions which will give me more inspiration, loving actions. Actions must be done out of love, not just because it is to be done. Selfless, smart actions like Krishna, calming actions based, then inspired actions, instrumental action. I must say I am the instrument of the Lord. Yajna spirit actions where I need to work in team spirit. Leading action, everybody on this planet is a leader. And then verse number 3.10 to 20, we saw in detail Yajna spirit. And then we saw leadership qualities from 21 to 29. And then verse number 30, we must by heart 4-point secret action Lord has given. Mai sarvani karmani. Then verse number 36, Arjun questions on challenges, that who are these enemies of knowledge? Bhagavan, I understood, but who are the enemies? Lord has given the answer, and how to kill them, what are their hideabouts, and then strengthen the intellect by this Brahma Vidya, by this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So it is very clear. Why to read Bhagavad Gita? To strengthen the intellect. The strengthening of intellect is important with this knowledge, because with strong intellect, I will be able to control mind, will be able to control body, will be able to control the senses. 37 to 42, entire inner war tactics and conclusion, that Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. These two are the enemies, and they are inside me because they go with me to the next body. What and how it veils our knowledge? Because they are enemies of the self-knowledge. And finally, Lord's final advice, kill the desire for the world and create more desire for God. So we'll just summarize the principles of Karma Yoga. This is one of my favorite slides, because in all, I think we have captured all the principles of Karma Yoga. So what is there in this particular chapter? What actions I should do, what actions I should not do, how to do actions, why to do action, and with what attitude. This is what, Guruji is one of the best things to listen to Guruji is that he will summarize in such a crisp way that it is very clear. So what is in Karma Yoga? These 5 questions I must ask. What actions I should do, what actions I should not do, how to do the actions, why to do the actions, and what should be the attitude of doing the actions. Then what actions I should do? The answer is obligatory and occasional duty. That is the Upasana and Prayaschitta. How to do? Selflessness, Nishkamata by self. There should be less of selfishness. Action for action's sake, enjoying the action itself, and then the result becomes insignificant. What action I should not do? Definitely we have learned prohibited action, desire prompted action, egocentric actions. Very clear Karma Yoga principles. Work with devotion, dedication, discipline, inspiration. Whether it is in family, whether it is job, whether it is society, whether it is country. Work without anxiety, attachment, aversion, insistence, resistance, dependence. This is wonderful to by heart and remember that how to act. And such a wonderful chapter to go back and read every day because we might forget. What should be the attitude? Lord has given clear attitude before work, seva bhav, during work, prema bhav, loving actions, and after work, one of the best ways is total acceptance, that is prasada buddhi. This we will discuss it later on, that this is the key, that whatever happens, I must accept as Lord's prasad. If somebody is behaving me with a particular way, I must accept it. If something happens to my body, accept as prasad. If something happens in the job, accept as prasad. If some illness comes, accept as prasad. Okay, Bhagwan, now this prasad you have given me, let me see what is a solution to this. I will take at prasad only. I will not ask, why Bhagwan, why me, why me, why me? Because Lord only has given me this life. Then why should I do the action? Goal of work is peace of mind, chitta shuddhi or punya. Either of the things we can do. Vedantic student wants chitta shuddhi, a person who wants krama mukti, I want to enjoy swarga and all, that particular person will gather more punya. So we have 2 choices. Either I do actions for punya or Vedantic student will do action for chitta shuddhi. Obstacles in work will be like dislikes. Enemy of knowledge is desire and anger. Secret of success, Lord has already given in the 36th verse, Mai Sarvani Karvani, drop anxiety for future, regret of past, tension in the present. And then what is to be done? Focus on plan of the future must be there. Learn lessons from the past, attention in the present. My duty is determined by these 5 things. What is my station in life? What is my ashram? What is my role in this particular situation? Analyzing the situation, asking what is my specific relationship in that situation, and developing universal human values. We have discussed this in detail. This is a summary of that. We have taken example of Arjun, that why he must fight, because he was a householder, he was action administrative type, he was a king, he was a leader, and in that situation, he was general of the army. What is Papa we discussed? That which takes us away from goal of life, God and self. Punya is that which takes us towards goal of life, God and self. Happiness is equal to, actually expectance word is wrong, that is duty plus acceptance plus independence. What is sorrow? Insistence plus resistance plus dependence. So anytime when we are sorrowful, suffering, agitated, sad, I must say I'm insisting something on the result. I want a result in a particular way. And I'm resisting that why it happened to me. I'm not accepting it. And I'm becoming dependent on that particular thing. What is the change I can bring about? Formula for change: control of senses, clarity of intellect. Why am I doing? Courage to say no to the mind, and consistency in action. This formula, Swatmananji gave some of the formulas here. These 4 C's are areas where I can work. Without control of senses, without clarity of intellect, without courage to say no to the mind, no, I do not want this. And consistency in action will bring about a change. If I do not follow this particular 4 C's, the 5th C will not happen. That is a change. And that's the reason many people do not change just with this knowledge. What is Swadharma? Use them or lose them. Whatever talents I have got, whatever the tendencies I have got, if I do not use them, I will be losing them in the next birth. And then concluding this portion of Karma Yoga, what Gurudev has given a formula, this we must remember forever. First of all, we must ask one word, so what? So what if I'm born? So what if I die? So what if this happened? I will not get stuck to the result. Then never mind. If something happens, never mind. Life is not gone. So many things open up. Bounce back strongly. Do not brood. Do not keep talking about aisa ho gaya, waisa ho gaya, ya ho gaya, why it happened, why me. Bounce back. And the last thing, the last sentence, what he mentioned to when he was in America, when he took Mahasamadhi, keep smiling. Because if you are my Shishya, if you think that you are Chinmaya Mission member, if you think and tell outside that you are a Chinmaya Mission member and you work for Chinmaya Mission, at least there must be smile on the face. I do not like Chinmaya Mission members or people who are working for Chinmaya Mission or listening to this knowledge having a constipated face or dull face or sad face most of the time. Keep smiling. At least smile we can have on our face and then work. So I think that completes one of the most beautiful chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is so practical, where we can actually implement. And then nobody can say that our spirituality is only philosophy. Tell me something practical, tell me something practical, tell me something. There cannot be more practical than this particular chapter. And suppose I still want something practical, then I guess again I have to go back to this Karma Yoga and see what is more practical as such. So with that we will complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.